Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Joy Ruffen, and you are tuned in to Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. And every Wednesday night, we come to you with a guest that is here to inspire, enlighten, and inform you in ways that are all good and inspirational. Tonight, our guest is Helene Oseen. She is an ambassador for women. Her passion and mission is to inspire women to love who they are, to own their power, and to create their best life. She encourages women on their lifelong journey to learn, transform, and expand life's experiences in the pursuit of happiness and that perfect outfit. As a style expert, a speaker, and author, she dispenses both wisdom and wardrobe advice in her always true to the female experience way. You have to love that. I'm reading all of this because I'm honored to have Helene with us tonight. She's going to come on and share a lot more with you in just a second. And here is something that she sent through to me that I'm asking her for permission to use because it's beyond lovely. She says she is still young enough to enjoy fashion, old enough to have seen the trends before, real enough to embrace her stage in life, and friendly enough to keep it fun. What's better than that? Nothing. Helene strives to stay true to herself in her ongoing discovery of who she is and what can be. She lives with her husband, Scotty, who makes her laugh, and there's nothing better than that. I have one of those as well. She lives in Calgary, Alberta. And here's what you're going to love. You're going to love everything about Helene. But Helene is a distinguished recipient of the Global Woman of Vision Award, honoring exceptional women. It is bestowed on leaders who have implemented their passion and whose personal dedication and action inspires others to new levels of success. Aren't you dying to meet her? Let me just bring her up. And while she's coming up, let me say to you that it is an honor to have her here. Hello, Helene, and welcome. Did you hear me?
Joy, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm honored and delighted to have you here. Welcome, welcome.
Thank
Tell
you.
us a little bit. I've read a lot about your bio, and I know people want to know more. But tell us a little bit about your background, your life experience, and why you love what you're doing.
Well, I started my career on the other side of the dressing room door. I spent 25 years selling clothes to women and working my way up in the fashion world. And prior to that, I was with my mother at the Fanny's Fabrics every Saturday, and we were creating outfits and sewing and doing all of that. But as I was working with women, I came to know a lot about women because I came to understand that we may be at any age or any stage of our life, but we all have some insecurities and we hold ourselves back and we think we're not good enough. And I wanted to tell every single woman, no matter who she was, that you don't have to look perfect or be rich or be thin to be happy. And sometimes when they came shopping, Joy, I think they were shopping for more than a new outfit. I think they were looking for a new life. They wanted something that would make them feel satisfied. And, I really believe that a woman's beauty comes from being confident and stylish and in love with herself.
Yes, yes, yes. Listen, I'm with you 100%, and I agree with everything that you're saying. Helene, we're getting a click, click, click from somewhere. Sound is very sensitive. Is there anything near you on the computer or your hands or arms touching your...
It may be my headphone because I'm moving my head too much.
Well, just now I heard something, but when you spoke there for a moment, I heard nothing at all. So I thought maybe it was the computer, the dashboard, or something like that. Just the sound is good, except that there was a lot of clicking going on.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. It happens from time. Listen, this is a primary embryo. There it goes again. I don't know what that click is. But anyway, let's be mindful. I'm going to try and just be very still. I don't think it's on my end, but it very well could be. And we'll just
I think it's this. I move my head and I can hear a noise here. This
Ah,
arm.
oh
So
yeah.
you know what? I'll try and be less effusive.
It must be that because when you did your head like that, you could still hear that click, click, click. And it may
I
not
know.
be technology. I don't know what causes that, but that's okay. Anyway, that was a great sharing of what you have experienced thus far as
Mm.
women are concerned. Share with us a wee bit more because that was really interesting because you hit
Well,
on something that's very profound and significant for me because it's a lot of people poo-poo and they put on the back burner the image appearance, present type of thing, and yet it's paramount in your projection of who you are. Yes.
well, when we think about it, Joy, if we go to a wedding or to some special occasion, we want to dress up, we want to feel good. It's part of who we are. And even as women, as we're sharing our stories and talking about what's happening in our lives, we'll laugh, we'll kvetch, we'll do this and that, and then we'll go, oh, I love your boots. Where did you get those? Right? It's part of who we are. It's part of how we connect. And what I think we're really saying is, I like you, I see you, and I think we could be friends. It doesn't mean that we want to live our lives as a fashion statement, but the way we express ourselves to the world is a part of who we are because getting dressed is just as much for the mind as it is for the body.
That I cannot tell you how significant and profound that is for every woman in the audience to hear.
Mm,
Can you repeat that?
yeah.
Can you repeat exactly what you said because that is so impactful what you said.
Getting dressed is as much for the mind as it is for the body. Now think about it. When you're having a down day, it's easy to put on your elastic waist pants and not care and not put any makeup on, and what happens is you start to like feel more down and you don't have any energy. If you take the time to doll yourself up a little bit, suddenly your mood will start to improve too. You can't disconnect the inner and the outer. I'm not saying we need to live our lives as fashion statements, but it affects the way we feel about ourselves.
There's no question about it. Helene, I don't want you to feel bad and I don't want you to but that knocking sound is coming through and it's disturbing somewhat to the powerful information that you're sharing with us. And I don't know other than holding your head, but now it's sharing. I don't want you to
Okay,
grow
I'll
up.
stay still.
The information is absolutely beyond impactful, powerful, and full of wisdom and knowledge that everyone needs to know. Because a lot of people don't look upon fashion and style in that manner.
No.
They don't perceive it in that way. And why do you think that is? I know you know why.
Well, I believe that we have been led to believe that it's vain or superficial. Society puts a lot of pressure on us, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as well. That just isn't right and just isn't fair. The only thing that we owe anyone is ourselves, and that is to be the most attractive version of ourselves that we can be. What the rest of the world thinks doesn't matter.
Oh my.
So let's start saying, you know what, I'm okay the way I am. I want to dress well. I want to do well. I want to be happy. I want to accept myself. And I want to stop feeling bad because I don't live up to my perceived societal expectations. And we need to stop doing that to our young girls too. We need to raise them so that they understand that they are perfectly beautiful exactly the way they are.
Oh my God, that is just so, it's blowing me away. I'm hoping that our audience, I see the loyal and faithful and a few new faces. Hello, one and all. We'll get to you in time. We have Adair and Roy and oh my goodness, Carla and Eloisa. Hello to each and every one of you. These are my loyal and faithful, I call them Helene, and they're always here with me, prodding me on, and you have to love it. Let me
Yes.
just say that what you just said is so powerful, and I hope it's going to resonate with a lot of women because the way you express that with such clarity is so true. Too many, because Helene, I'm here in Florida, the casual state, the
Mm.
sunshine state, where everybody, without exception, runs around with, I'm exaggerating to make a point, flip flops, t shirts, jeans, and tank tops.
Yep.
Too casual all the time. And so when it's time to dress, nobody wants to dress because they don't know how to dress and be comfortable in that dress. Can you speak to
You,
that a little bit? Because I think that's really powerful as
I
well.
can. And you know, we live in two very different climates, Joy. I'm in Canada
Yes.
and you're down there. But I'm seeing the same thing up here. Maybe we're not in t-shirts and flip-flops, but we're in hoodies and sweats and sneakers, and the society is starting to really get sloppy sometimes. It's not about dressing down and being casual. It's about not caring about yourself enough to pay attention. Because
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I know if I pay a little bit of attention to how I look, I just feel better. And I think most women do.
I think so too. I think what you just spoke to is so significant though, because so many people, they've adopted this, I don't care, it's not important, takes too much time, I don't know what to do anyway, so just let me put it on, forget about it.
And
And
so
that,
many of them, Joy, will say, well, I can't afford to dress well. That's
ah,
nonsense. That's
ah,
absolute nonsense.
it's absolutely nonsense. And there's a way that we have to be about proving that to them. Let me ask you that you are sharing so many significant, really powerful points of information that all of us need to know that I'm grateful that you're here sharing it. What is a great tip or tool, Helene, that you can share with us now that you know now that maybe you didn't know some time ago?
I'll tell you, it's about life in general, and that's, I guess, why my book is called Wear Your Life Well, because of my history in fashion and because of the age and stage I am in life. And I used to think that, you know, as you get older, you get wiser. Well, not necessarily. Wisdom comes from reflection about what's important to you. What do you want? What has happened in the past? How do you want to design your life so that going forward it makes your heart happy? And that's why I say reflect on where you've been and decide and design what you want. Dress up, show up, and never give up in life.
Yes,
That's the way to do it. Life isn't easy. Nobody has ever had an easy life. We all have different stories. We all have crazy things. We all have good things. We all have things that have just knocked us off our feet, and something incredible all in the same day sometimes. So
yes.
we have to be together and share our stories and help us understand each other and support each other while we become, as you so beautifully always call us, leading ladies, because that's what we are.
You heard me chuckling when you mentioned that, and I was chuckling because as a young woman, I'm a happy, happy senior now and happy to be. I used to really think, Helene, that as you grow and you become older, you become wiser. And now that I am a happy senior, I have to say, I don't know, maybe it's the circles I'm dancing in. A lot of older people, elders, are not that wise. And I'm saying,
Mhm.
what happened? What happened? It's really interesting that you mentioned it and spoke to it that way. What is one of the secrets to success that you can share with our audience now? And success is
Never
for
stop
everyone.
believing in yourself. I
Ah,
think by the time we're in our 40s, sometimes the world has had their way with us a bit more often than we'd like. And
yes.
so we start to lose confidence. And then we start to second guess ourselves. Oh, I'm not thin enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. And we always say, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not, instead of, I am. I know this now. I can do it. I'm resilient. I can do this. So we have to shift our mindset, because as soon as we shift our mindset from the dreaded transition years that many of us women go through, to
Mhm.
understand that it's natural and normal and it has gifts with it. Sure, we're not going to wear that dress that we wore when we were 20, but who cares? Who cares?
Oh my. Such powerful information that you're sharing with us. And I, for one, I'm blown up and over here because it's really something that, you know how you know things, and yet when you hear it resounding from another voice, it just has more impact. And that's what you're doing for me, my friend. Tell us, based on what you just said, which is more than interesting, what is the strongest personal quality that you have, and how does it serve you in the work that you're doing? That's a loaded one, Helene, but you can handle it.
That's really loaded. And I'm going to answer that from a comment that someone recently made to me that made me happy to hear.
Good.
And she said to me, "You are one of the most generous people I know." And that was about my energy and wanting to empower women and share with them. And she couldn't have paid me a higher compliment. Had I not heard it from you, I probably wouldn't have given you that answer. But I talked about it with my daughter and a few other friends, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's you. You always want to help." And that is who I am. I want to help women.
I
And
love
thank God my husband understands my need for girl time.
that. I love that. I love that because you nailed it. You nailed it. And I like the way you presented it and how you explained it. I am, I am, I am. I am wonderful. I am terrific. I am loving. I am kind. All of that good stuff. It's so easy to knock ourselves, really. And the other thing that you put in your, which I'm going to steal from you, is that you want to be friendly enough to keep it fun. I have a friend who says, if it's not fun, funny, and fruitful, then I'm not going to be involved with it. So that says a lot. Here's a good question for you, and you are just the one to answer it. This I know, I'm putting you up, but you can do this. Why do we as women have such a difficult time breaking that glass ceiling? And that glass ceiling covers a lot of territory. So how would you respond to that?
Well, I think it's a two-pronged question. One is there is no question in any of our minds that there is a glass ceiling due to some male conditioning and attitudes around women. But unfortunately, I think often we don't take enough responsibility for having the courage to try and break those ceilings. Because I think sometimes we will sit down and go, well, it's just too hard. This won't allow it to happen. This won't allow it to happen. And we need to be more courageous. And we need to get brave. And we need to understand that it might hurt and it might be wonderful and it might not work and it might work. But sitting back and not owning our own power, I think, is the biggest culprit of all.
I agree with you. And this petty thing that women don't get along is a lot of hooey that you and I and zillions of others have to put way on the back burner. Because here you and I are doing more or less the same thing, and we're not competitive. We're only competitive with ourselves. And we know that we can support and do a lot of things together that will be beneficial for both. So that's a lot of hooey in a lot of ways. That said, who in your business, the business that you do, male or female, do you admire the most? It can be a designer, it can be anyone. Who excites you and gets you pumped up for?
Well, I guess I have to redefine what my business is. For so many years, it was fashion and fashion only.
Yes.
But as that has evolved and as I have reinvented myself and identified what's important to me, I realize my business is about wanting to make people feel comfortable and happy in their own skin. So, and talking honestly about what we as women, and this is no slight to men, but women have a connection that we speak with each other differently than when there's a man around. I think people who invite me to be courageous, people like Brene Brown. Of course, there's Oprah, who brings every thought leader in the world together. I think we're multifaceted, so I don't like to just pick one lane, because there are so many areas of all of our lives that when it comes to one aspect of my life, it might be one person. Another aspect of my life, it might be someone else. I admire all women, because each and every woman, whether she is well known or not, has something to teach me. And I think we need to teach each other. We need to tell our stories and our triumphs.
Oh my, that is so beautiful. I suppose one of the reasons why this work is so important to me and why we continue to persevere and move forward is that when you have a sense of loyalty and appreciation and respect for yourself and for other women, you want it to be a universal embracing. And that's what we're doing. And you're saying it in another way, but it's the same thing. Too many women, for numerous reasons, are not able to connect in a positive way where they benefit and are beneficial to each other. And it can be. And you and I can be prime, premier examples of that. No question about it. Indeed. Now, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now and what you're going to be doing in the future.
Well, I am rolling out my masterclass again this fall. I'm very excited about that. I've had terrific response to it. And this is a 7-week online class that talks about the fundamentals of fashion and the fundamentals of being happy and claiming your authenticity. And we're a very connected group. It's kind of a cool hangout with women supporting women while we learn. So I know you are aware of the class because I was so lucky to have you in my class.
Oh my, the luck was all mine.
And, I just want to go bigger in the world with it because I think women need to reinforce to themselves. And as you have already said today, all I'm saying, aside from some practical fashion expertise, all I'm doing is bringing up for women what they already know, but they needed to be reminded of. So I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm asking you to look at your life. I'm asking you to say what's important to you. I'm asking you to find courage. I'm asking you to just be you. And I think there's too many gurus out there who claim to have the answers to our lives. Well, all we have to do is look inside.
You nailed it there for numerous reasons. We're both in a business. It's a business. We're business women, and yet we have a sense of camaraderie and care and concern for one another, and we want to be connected and united and supportive.
Yes.
And yet you see so many of the people who are in the business that we're in who are promoting a lot of things for women for numerous reasons that many of us ought not to be wearing and be about.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we go about gingerly sharing with women? There's a lot that's being promoted to you because it's trendy, because it's fashionable, because it's in, it doesn't fit you. A prime example for me, Helene, just never bringing me into the equation, but only as an example. Now they're shouting lace everywhere. Lace, 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 lace. Well, I'm not a lace person. So I don't rush out to buy lace just because it's in and it's fashionable. And what are some of the other things that a lot of women are wearing now that without question, there's no need? It doesn't fit. It doesn't play. How do you address something like that?
Well, and I think what we need to always look at is what is right for that woman in terms of the personality of the garment, the line of her body, her lifestyle, and the color. And if you can actually personalize that and identify that and stop thinking you need to listen to the whims of the latest fashion dictate, you can be incredibly stylish and feel great. I think of, when sometimes I used to see girlfriends come in shopping together and they would pull something out and one of them would try it on and get in front of the mirror and her girlfriend would be like bubbling and so excited going, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then the other one would say, yeah, but it's not me. If you can have the courage to say, this isn't me, that's huge. It doesn't matter what the rest of the world says. Because if it's not you, you're going to buy it, put it in your closet, and never, ever wear it, and then give it away to the thrift store in a couple of years with the price tag still on it.
Yeah. And I think that there are an awful lot of women who walk into their closets, and we experience this in different ways. And there's tons of stuff there, but then there's nothing ever to wear that you can get excited about.
Right.
And your premise is that, and mine is that you walk in and you can boom, boom, boom anywhere that you have to go, and you can pull something together that showcases you and allows you to stand and shine in your brilliance and your greatness. And that's
absolutely. And I know you do that, Joy. And we both know that these women will spend less money and feel twice as good if they can follow that example.
exactly.
You don't need a lot of clothes. You just need clothes that you will feel great in.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me just step for a moment, Helene. I see that we have some friends here. We have Flora Brown. She says, hi, Joy and Helene. Hello, hello. And we'll be able to address and say hello to all of you after the show. Adair is here, and Carla. Always great to see you both. Loyal support. And our friend Roy Montero is here. Roy, the sound bite here. I know we're working. Sound bite here, sound bite. Hi, ladies. And we have people here who are shouting out, and you'll be able to see them after the fact. Let me say this. I don't know how what are you, I mentioned it to you before and you addressed it, but what are, or what is a plan that you have? By the way, all of your information will be going up on the website so that anyone who has questions and concerns for you will be able to address them. I don't see any here now, and usually that's the case. But what we'll be doing is putting up, I know you're on Facebook and Instagram,
And I'm
and I have,
happy to answer questions.
wonderful, and I have
Yeah.
all of your website information, your booklet, and all of that, and that will be going up, so you'll be fine there. Let me ask you, is there anything that I didn't ask you before we say, I don't know where the time goes, I say this every week, anything that I didn't ask you that you want, you wish I had, or anything you want to ask me before we say so long for now?
Maybe just a comment from me to you, Joy. I so admire what you are doing. I am so grateful that I have found someone across the country that is cut from the same cloth and that together we can talk to women of all ages and tell them that they're awesome. So thank you for that, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We are kindred souls at heart. We know that. And I have no concerns. It is written somewhere that we will connect and do something together. I have no concerns or question marks about that. It will happen. Thank you again. Helene, I'm going to say so long for now. I put you to the side. Please don't say goodbye. I just want to say goodbye to the audience and then get back and chat with
Okay.
you for just a brief moment. So that said, let's take this. My friends, where does the time go? It flies, especially when you have a dynamic, impressive, heart-centered leader like we have in Helene here with us today. All of her information will be put on the video, and it will be within 24, 48 hours max, will be put up where you can take a look and use it however you like. All of the information and what we are asking you to do is to touch base with her and to ask her questions or concerns that you might have. We're doing the same thing in different ways, and there is no competition here. There's only the appreciation and the respect for each other for the work that we do. And we know that we're needed, and we want you to join hands with us one way or the other. So wherever you are, I hope that you enjoyed the show tonight, the broadcast. We certainly did. And we'll look forward to being with you again and soon. Remember, next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and next Wednesday at the same time, another phenomenal guest. So wherever you are, my friends, be well and take care. All the best until we connect the next time. Have a great week. Until then, bye-bye for now. Cheers.